So here we have the patch notes for the 9.2 update. This is the PCB, obviously, so everything I will show you here can change. There's a lot of new stuff. Let's see what we got. So, of course, we have the new killer. This is the Krasue or something. But let's take a look at her. Well, that's probably the goriest thing I've seen in this game. Next to, like, the hag's Mori animation where she eats their intestines, you know? They really stepped up their animation. I know. Yeah, that is disgusting, isn't it? Yes, it is. Okay, there's her slash. This is her lunge. All right. And then what is her power? Let's take a look at the power. All right, so if I hold down the button, it looks like it lets me aim. I'm not sure what this is. Let's click. What happens if I hit somebody with it? Okay, I guess they're infected. What if I hit him again? Okay, nothing happens if I hit him again, but a lot of blood comes out, so that's kind of cool. All right, head form. Let's see what this does. Oh, wow, and I get third-person view. Wow, okay. Let's see what flight does. I guess I have to hold it down. Let me hold it down. Okay. I guess it just makes me move faster. I can't just use it whenever I want. It does a recharge. Is this like a twins thing where I can... Oh no, I just rematerialize wherever my head is. Okay. Let's see. Oh, I can hit multiple people with that. Neat. Let me see what this... Oh, this looks like a new perk. Doing a little dance here. Okay. Let me check the break animation. Hang on. Okay, she just breaks it with her knife. All right. So it's very interesting. She has some mobility with her head form. She has this long-range attack, which I guess causes survivors to become broken after a period of time. I think that's what it does. Okay, let me see. How can I aim this? Can I actually just aim it wherever I want? Hang on. Oh yeah, look at that. I can trick shot. Neat. Yeah, it kind of feels like a spirit plague sort of thing. Wait, can I melee in this form? Oh, I didn't know I could do that. Wow. I'm actually killing people in this. Oh, it forces you to lunge though. Like you just tap left click and it forces the lunge. Let me check out the Mori here. Okay, that is gross. I think she injected a bunch of blood into her and exploded her head. That's what I got from that. This is the first time I've seen her perks, so I haven't had much time to think about them, but let's just take a look at them. Ravenous. When you hook a survivor for the first time, you gain a token up to a maximum of 4. When you have 4 tokens, all survivors scream and are exposed for 60 seconds. So this encourages not tunneling people. And I think that's also a big theme of this entire update. It could be good for a lot of killers. More so for the killers who rely on their basic attacks, because obviously exposed only comes into effect when you hit survivors with a basic. Now, next perk, Hex Overture of Doom. Spawns a Hex Totem that curses the farthest generator and reveals its aura in yellow. When a survivor repairs the cursed generator for 5 seconds, you gain undetectable and your terror radius is applied to the generator for 30 seconds. When the cursed generator is repaired, the next farthest generator is cursed. Okay. It's like a passive, what is that? Dark Devotion, right? It's like applying Dark Devotion to a generator instead of a player. And it's completely passive as long as you have the Hex Totem alive. It's going to be good on the dangerous killers, like I would say Leatherface probably, because, you know, if he can get in close to you, then he can one-shot you with his chainsaw. Hillbilly would like this too. Or killers who have a large terror radius, like maybe Kaneki might like this. So yeah, so far so good with the killer perks. Let's see the third one here. Wandering Eye. Whenever you start chasing a survivor, reveal the auras of all other injured survivors. within 16 meters for 5 seconds. Well, is it good? Let me think. It only reveals their aura if they're within 16 meters. How often does that happen? I don't think it happens that often. And you know, survivors are usually more than 16 meters away from each other unless they're like a Swift or they're doing a generator together, right? So I don't think Wandering Eye is going to be that good. But these two look pretty good. This is a new survivor. Her name is Vee. I don't even know how to pronounce this. Vee Boonyasak. I don't know, man. She has some perks here. Let's take a look at them. Road life. While injured, not broken, and repairing a generator, gain 1 token for each great skill check success. After you hit 6 great skill checks with this perk, you gain 100% healing speed until you stop healing. I would say it's kind of a gen rushing perk because what's going to happen is players with this perk, they're going to stay injured while repairing the gen, and they're going to ignore healing until the gen is completed. And that's going to result in faster gens, and then they'll just pass themselves up immediately afterwards. Not sure how healthy that is for the game, but we'll see. 1, 2, 3, 4. It increases the odds of getting skill checks, whether from healing or repair, by 20%. I can already see this is another gen rushing perk we have here. You're definitely going to combine this with something like hyper focus to get even more skill checks. It does require you to stand still for 15 seconds though. I would say it kind of evens out then, because if you have to stand still for 15 seconds to get the benefit, that's time you could have been spent doing the generator. So this kind of strikes me as a Swift perk too. You're going to have a group of friends together. One of them is going to bring this perk. 3 of them are going to have like the hyper focus stakeout build. You know, they're all going to be doing the gen except this guy who's going to be buffing them. And then they're going to get the gen done in like 20 seconds or something. And then we have ghost notes. This is the interesting one, in my opinion. When you have exhausted, your scratch marks disappear 50% faster. And you recover faster from the exhausted status effect. So you would pair this with lightweight. And then if it stacks additively, your scratch marks could disappear within 2.5 seconds, basically, if you stack it with lightweight. I am going to test this with fixated to see exactly what it looks like. How fast do these fade? I mean, I know it's 5 seconds, but just like visually. Oh, I'm alive. Cool. Okay, so now we're exhausted. Let's see how fast they fade. Oh, hang on. Wait, look at that fading time. Jesus Christ, that's fast. Look at that. They're disappearing almost immediately. Let's count the seconds here. Let's count the seconds. 0, 1, 2, like 2 seconds, man. Like 2.5 seconds. Doesn't Kate's perk Dance With Me work just like that? Yes, but the difference is that Dance With Me has a duration and it only works after you vault a window. But Ghost Notes and Lightweight are permanently active, basically, as long as you're exhausted, which you can be exhausted for as long as you want. You just keep sprinting and you're permanently exhausted. Okay, so the new Myers has 2 different modes. He has Pursuer mode, which allows him to move faster, but he cannot stalk anymore. And then he has Stalk mode where he moves slower, but he gains Undetectable. If you stand still, you stalk faster. If you move, you stalk slower. Okay, and then you get this, I fully stalked now, so I can enter this Evil Incarnate mode. I'm not sure what this does. Let's see. So he doesn't have an increased lunge anymore, not a basic lunge, but you can charge this Slaughtering Strike lunge. It's like a special attack now. And I guess this is a one-shot like it used to be. Okay. Oh, I have to press left click. Let's see if I can get him. There we go. Oh my god, that's a long lunge, isn't it? So yeah, that's basically the rework. It's not a huge rework. They kind of replaced tier 3 with this Slaughtering Strike mode. It's kind of like a pig ambush, except it one-shots people. I think you can destroy pals with the Slaughtering Strike. I thought I read that. Charge it up. Yeah, there we go. Okay, you can break pallets with Slaughtering Strike. I think it's a little bit faster too. Yeah, so you get to move immediately afterwards. So it's a bit faster if you break the pallet with that. Tunneling reduction update. a new elusive status effect for the survivors, which makes it so their grunts of pain, their aura, their scratch marks, and pools of blood are all hidden. So you're basically undetectable. Also, they are removing collision with other players, and I believe the killer as well. And the unhooked survivor also gets to see the killer's aura within 32 meters. It's crazy. Yeah, just like very survivor favored here when it comes to unhook protections. You can't be revealed by the killer instinct anymore after being unhooked. These unhook protections, the haste and the endurance effect, this has been increased from, I believe it was 10 seconds in the live version. It's now 30 seconds. Yeah, borrowed time base kit, like babysitter base kit, distortion base kit, sort of. It's like, and then of course they have the anti-slugging changes here too, where you have tenacity base kit, unbreakable base kit. It's going to be a bad time for killers, that's for sure. They're giving survivors a lot of freebies, a lot of base kit perks, but they're also giving the killers a few base kit perks as well. One of them is base kit barbecue and chili. So they get to see all survivors outside of 40 meters anytime they hook someone, only if these survivors have less hook states than the survivor they just hooked. They get base kit pop goes the weasel. They get base kit pop, furtive chase, because they get haste, right? Let me take a look at this furtive chase. Yeah, you don't get the undetectable, but you do get the haste. It's like there's so many things, like for new players, there's so many perks and killer powers and combinations and stuff you have to memorize. It's just not very new player friendly, because then like you have to remember, if you're playing killer, I can't hit the survivor for 30 seconds after being unhooked. And for some reason, their scratch marks are disappearing and they're faster than me. Yeah. And for some reason, they know where I am. They can see my aura. There's so many things and little nuances you have to remember now because of the way that they invented the core mechanic of their game. They've had to add all these base kit perks because hooks are campable. That's the problem. That's the biggest problem. If they made the hooks uncampable, then they wouldn't have to do this. But it's a core issue that they can't really change. So they have to do all this stuff to discourage bad behavior. And also, the hook status indicator has been updated. When a survivor is hooked, the killer cannot see the hook status in the HUD. Basically, this means that you cannot see the amount of progress left to sacrifice the survivor. So you can't choose to camp at strategic times, like right before they're about to die or to go to second state or whatever. And you can also no longer see the hook's aura. And this is going to be really bad on certain maps, like, let's say, Leary's, where everything looks the same. You hook a survivor somewhere, and then as you're moving through the map, you kind of get disoriented. You lose your perspective because all the rooms look the same. So you hook somebody in the corner of the map, and then you move around a little bit. Then 10 seconds later, you're like, oh, I don't remember which corner of the map I hooked the survivor in, and I can no longer see the hook's aura. So I have no idea where the survivor I hooked is anymore. So I can't camp them, you see? So, I mean, it sounds like it might be effective on some maps, but on other maps with, the long lines of sight or very obvious landmarks like Blood Lodge, there's like a huge lodge in the middle of the map. You can use that to navigate pretty easily. And yeah, those are basically all the changes. Lots of perk updates, lots of killer balancing, new killer, new survivor, Myers rework. And the most important thing, in my opinion, is the tunneling reduction and the slugging reduction. I think that this is going to make the game healthier overall. I think killers are going to have a harder time winning. I think their win rate is going to overall go down because the strategy that seemed to work the most was to eliminate one survivor as fast as possible. But the way it has to be now is that all the survivors have to get a fair shot at playing the game. And I mean, while it sounds, nice and wholesome, it's like, oh yeah, everybody gets to have a fair chance at playing. Yeah, it's going to be a harder time for killers because then they have to juggle 4 survivors for longer. And if you kill anybody before getting a total of 6 hook states, the remaining survivors get 25% faster repair speed. So you get penalized for killing somebody early. So that's rough, but we'll see. I mean, this is the PTB. Any of these things can change by the time it goes live. So we'll see. We'll see what happens.